7 and CricTracker presents रन की रणनीति में आपका स्वागत है. गुड मॉर्निंग टू एवरीवन. और मेरे साथ है दो बहुत ही खास मेहमान. आई हैव विद मी फारूक इंजीनियर एंड ऑफ कोर्स स्टुअर्ट लॉ. और आज मुकाबला है इंग्लैंड और आयरलैंड के बीच. इस मुकाबले के बारे में हम बात करेंगे. अब से कुछ ही देर में ये मुकाबला शुरू हो जाएगा मेलबर्न क्रिकेट ग्राउंड में MCG में. और इंग्लैंड वर्सेस आयरलैंड की अगर हम बात करें तो अभी तक फिलहाल इन दोनों टीम्स के बीच T20I में सिर्फ एक मुकाबला हुआ है. एक्चुअली दैट वाज अ नो रिजल्ट. इंग्लैंड और आयरलैंड के बीच इस मुकाबले में कोई रिजल्ट तो नहीं निकला. सो वी एक्चुअली डोंट नो व्हाट टू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम दिस मैच. फारूक सर, स्टार्टिंग विद यू फर्स्ट. क्या ये मुकाबला इज इट गोइंग टू बी एन इजी विन फॉर इंग्लैंड जस्ट लाइक अनदर मैच, या फिर आयरलैंड की टीम कुछ अपसेट कर सकती है आज?
Well, firstly, there's not much love lost between England and Ireland. I mean, they have their own supporters. When Irish eyes are smiling, they're really, really behind their little nation. A relatively new cricketing nation it is. But they fight like hell. They give it 100%. They've got some very talented players. They know what England's game plan is going to be. England have decided to attack from ball one. And that's exactly... Some smart field placements, smart bowling changes will be required by Ireland. And they're quite capable of doing that. So it's just a matter of time. We'll see. We know that England have a formidable opening attack. Josh Butler, Alex Hales, and Moeen Ali. A very strong batting lineup, But they've got Liam Livingstone from Stewart from our Lancashire. There's Ben Stokes and Harry Brook. They've got some very, very fine stroke players. And they'll be pitted against reasonably good bowling by Ireland. So field placings, field catching will be most important. I'm sure they will give chances. Catches have to be taken to win matches. I think all in all, I don't think it'll be a walkover because Ireland will certainly put up a good fight.
Yeah. And Stuart, what do you think about this match? Because, Ireland they made their way by beating Scotland and West Indies. That was a big team. So they deserve to be in the Super 12.
Yeah, they do. Underestimate Ireland at your peril. You cast your minds back to 50-over World Cups between these two nations. And, there was one terrific game. I think it was in Bengaluru where Ireland beat England and Kevin O'Brien scored a magic 100. So, there is that rivalry. It's almost like we describe it as, in Australia, New Zealand's our little brother. You don't want to get beaten by your little brother. So England and Ireland's basically little brother. You don't want to get beaten by them. So, look, it's a game that if England don't play well and Ireland play at the top of their game, it's going to be a great contest if that's the case. You'd like to think that England have got too much power, too much class to get over the line, but Ireland have got that one thing in them that teams desire, and that's fight.
And also, Farooq sir, जब इंग्लैंड जो है इस टूर्नामेंट में आई है 2020 वर्ल्ड कप में एज फेवरेट, क्योंकि इससे पहले 2 सीरीज वो जीत कर आ रहे हैं, बट देयर लास्ट मैच अगेंस्ट अफगानिस्तान, वहां पर थोड़ा सा स्ट्रगल करते हुए ये टीम नजर आई है. आज किस माइंडसेट के साथ उतरेंगे? दैट इज एन इजी मैच और वी हैव टू मेक श्योर कि हम एक बड़े मार्जिन से जीते ताकि आगे जाके हमें प्रॉब्लम ना हो.
No, England तो बड़े मार्जिन से जीतने की कोशिश करेंगे जरूर, without a doubt. But as Stuart said, Ireland are not that bad a team. They've got some good strikers themselves who can really tonk the ball, But so I mean, England have to be smart as well, bowling, fielding, and all that. But against Afghanistan, Sam Curran getting 5 for 10 in 3-point-something overs.
Yeah.
I think Afghanistan probably decided to target Sam Curran, looking at him as perhaps the weakest link, and that perhaps helped him get the wickets. Take away no credit from Sam Curran. He bowled really well. He's a pretty useful all-rounder, and I'm sure Stuart and I played against his father, Kevin Curran. So, I mean, he's a very talented young bowler, but do not take him lightly. Perhaps as Afghanistan did, they thought, he's medium fast. He's not all that quick. Let's target him as one of the bowlers to get a runs. And perhaps that's why he got the, astonishing figures of 5 for 10 and 3.4 overs. My word, what a spell, but you can't take it away from him. He's bowled very well. So I don't think Ireland will underestimate Sam Curran, because they have seen him bowl in action. So I don't think they will be going gung-ho against him. They'll be looking to score all round. The run rate, of course, is very important. England will have that in mind because it's a very strong group, especially with with Australia winning yesterday. And still, Australia are in minus in the total run rate, which, you find it very amazing for a side like Australia. But that run rate will be very important in that group because it's a very strong group. So both teams will keep that in mind and play some very, very attractive cricket. All in all, I think it'll be a pretty good match.
Yeah, and of course, knowing the fact that these two teams don't know each other much, as these sides have only faced off once in T20Is when they matched, and the 2010 ICC World T20 in Guyana was washed out. But they must have tracked each other. What Ireland must know about England before going to play them?
Well, England and Ireland have played a bit of international cricket during the summer, actually in the UK summer. They had an ODI series. So Ireland make up their T20 team, their 50-over team, and basically their test team with this similar playing group. So England know everything about Ireland. Ireland will know everything about England because these days you can't hide. Every game that is played internationally or even domestically, players that are just selected into an international team, the analyst has got avenues to go and collect information and get all the stats and vision of those players. So you can't hide. These teams will know each other inside out, basically. You've got a lot of the Ireland boys who have played county cricket as well in the UK. So there's a lot of similarities between the way that they play. Paul Sterling at the top, I think, is one to watch.
In these days of internet and Google and all that, every team knows every team. They don't have to actually play, but they know every player. They know their strengths and weaknesses. They've got all sort of videos that help them. So, I mean, they do really know each other's game plans and each other's, strong points and weaknesses to a certain degree. So, I mean, although they physically do not play against each other, they will have a pretty good idea about each other's, qualities.
And also, Farooq, so this match is at the MCG where India played against Pakistan. Are you able to get over the innings played by Virat Kohli that day? Are you able to get over that match, that big clash that happened and we won against Pakistan?
Well, I don't think any human being would be able to get over that, whether you're an Indian or a Pakistan supporter. What a match that was. I mean, in that 1 over, we saw everything. We saw a run out, we saw a stumping.
White balls.
a stumping, which was like a run out. And we saw a white ball, we saw a no ball. I mean, you say it, and we saw it. It was an incredible match. Who can ever forget that match? I think perhaps would be one of the most, even more exciting than the last over England-New Zealand at Lord's in the finals. Perhaps it was even more interesting than that because this had all the ifs and buts and, so how can you ever forget that match? I certainly won't in my lifetime.
जब आपको 13 रन चाहिए थे सिर्फ 3 गेंदों में, who would have thought that India would have won this match, this easily? Or maybe it would have come to this point कि जब आपको इतना tight हो गया मैच and you don't know, super over में भी जा सकता है मैच, India भी हार सकता है, Pakistan भी जीत सकता है, any result was possible.
One can't deny that Lady Luck smiled on India that day because whatever decisions the umpires made, was to the best of their knowledge, but certainly India had the greater luck in winning that game. Don't take away Virat Kohli's magnificent. He played superbly. But
don't forget the 94,000 fans as well. They're cheering them on. If that doesn't inspire you to do great things, nothing will. And 94,000 people. in the stadium watching that game.
Viewers,
Wow.
So I mean, incredible.
Ridiculous.
Digitally, I saw on the digital platform of the broadcasters. Forget TV. They actually TV give you more numbers than digital now. Also, it was 1.5 crore people watching that match live. So
I can imagine. Yeah.
The numbers were insane. I think the broadcasters must be very happy. The fact that they played the match next day, the whole match on Diwali, they replayed it. So,
and I'll tell you what, they will play it every Diwali, believe me, because I mean, if you talk about the rivalry between Australia and New Zealand, the Ashes, I mean, I don't think the Western world realizes the impact of an India-Pakistan fixture, because politically they are, at loggerheads, and the only thing they can resolve is on the cricket pitch. So I mean, it's not just a game of cricket; it's much more than that. People take it personal. If India lose or Pakistan lose, they start blaming each other and all that. Arshdeep Singh, when he dropped that easy catch against Pakistan, I think his house was nearly burned down in India, And then the guy comes and takes two brilliant, gets Babar Azam and Rizwan, So I mean, bowled superbly. So it was a great game. It was a great game of cricket. Both sides played in good spirit, and that's the most important thing. Cricket benefited from this wonderful thing. And I'm so glad to hear that there were no riots afterwards or no bad losers as such. Although Pakistani fans feel that they were robbed to a certain extent, but certainly it didn't come out in public or anything, which is great. I congratulate both the Pakistani and the Indian fans for that. It was a great game of cricket. You'll never see one like that again.
Absolutely.
Who knows? They could play the finals again. You don't know.
One of his best, or the best innings by him ever that we saw that day. But coming back to this match, Stuart, I would like to come to you. England's top order was completely off the track against Afghanistan. They were back to the pavilion in just 20 runs. Where did they miss the trick? Where did they go wrong?
Well, I don't think you can read too much into their form. Their form coming into this tournament has been, very good. They've had a number of wins and good wins against Australia as well. So in Australia, I think you've got to look at the pitch. The pitch in Perth, a new drop-in pitch. They've left a lot of grass on it, so it continues the pace and bounce characteristics of a pitch in Perth. And the new ball just did enough to put the batsman off. So you can't read too much into the form of the top order from England going into that Afghanistan side, because the pitch had a bit to play with it. Last night we saw Australia struggle against Sri Lanka against the new ball. They didn't lose wickets, which was crucial for Australia to get over the line. They didn't lose wickets, but they struggled to score runs. Finch at one stage was going at 50, strike rate. Mitch Marsh was going at 20% strike rate. So there's something in the new ball in that Perth pitch. Melbourne, however, Melbourne's a different kettle of fish here. It's a different pitch, different ground. Although it's a drop-in, it has been around for a lot longer. They've been nurtured into those concrete beds for a lot longer. So they don't have quite the pace and bounce, although they did say the pitch the other night against India and Pakistan was very, very fast and probably the fastest of the tournament. That can happen, but it might also have something to do with the quality of the bowling that India and Pakistan have as well. The pitch is very important. If it's a good pitch, you'll get a very good game of cricket to watch. If there's something in it, you'll find that the best team with the best adaptability will come out on top.
Well, yesterday it was Mark Stoinis who got Australia out of jail, literally, because Sri Lanka really had them on the ropes at one time, and Stoinis played the innings of his life, and what a fantastic innings it was. England have won the toss and chosen to bowl first. I mean, that's a good thing for England, because they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they have to score, and they can pace their innings accordingly. So it's a wonderful thing, good decision. England won the toss and electing to bowl first.
And of course, Ireland जो है पहले बैटिंग करते हुए कितना स्कोर आप देख रहे हैं will be a good fighting score for Ireland here at MCG.
Ireland will look to get nothing less than 150, 160. I mean, anything below that is not really a fighting score against a very strong batting lineup as England has. So I mean, they will go, from ball one. They will go for the shots, and England have a very good bowling attack too. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Irish batsmen get along, how Joss Butler's bowling changes, fielding changes. I mean, sure, they must have a game plan A. If plan A doesn't work, plan B is in place. So they must have made all their plans beforehand. They must have studied each and every Ireland batsman, where his strengths and weaknesses are, and bowl accordingly, place his field accordingly. So all the homework has been done. Everything has been done in the background. Now it's out there in the middle. They've got to go and execute the plans. So, I mean, both teams have made their plans. So let's see how they execute them. That's the most important thing. But it'll be a good game. But Ireland will be looking to get a minimum of 150 to 160. Let England chase at least 8 and over. That'll be their mantra. More will be a bonus for them.
So England won the toss and they'll bowl first. And talking about England's bowling, Stuart, what we saw from Sam Curran, that fifer in just 3.4 overs against Afghanistan. Can we expect a similar spell from him today as well? And do you think Ireland better prepared against Sam Curran?
Look, you'd love him to go out and get. I'm sure he'd love to go out and get 5 for 10 every game as well. But I think if you sit around and you've been around cricket long enough, it doesn't quite work out that way all the time. But Sam was exceptional the other night. I think the situation of the game allowed him to be able to expose Afghanistan's bottom order with his subtle changes of pace. Whether it be pace up, pace down, bounces, slower balls. So he was able to full bag of tricks the other night, and it worked for him. It may be different here in Melbourne. The other thing is too, that as Farouk said before, they go through all the stats. I saw the stat before that Melbourne, the MCG, high percentage of games batting second, wins the game. Whether that's at night or this is an afternoon game, so it may be slightly different. I think in Australia normally in a day game, runs on the board can be hard to chase because spin does actually play a factor. Dew doesn't fall. The coolness of the air doesn't keep the pitch together. In the afternoon sun, it opens up a bit. So it may just take a bit of spin. So it might not be a bad thing for Ireland, losing the toss and batting first. However, they've got to get through the bowling attack of, England, with the likes of, Chris Wokes at the top as well, swings that Ben Stokes is, a wonderful performer. Adil Rashid has been outstanding. Moeen Ali can, contribute when he wants. They've got all bases covered. They've got extreme pace. They've got good, variety bowlers with their medium pace, and they've got good spin as well. So, it's a tough ask for Ireland, but I'll guarantee you they'll be up for a fight.
Yeah, as Stuart said, I mean, quite right. Runs on the board. England have yet to chase them. So that's a very important point, indeed. I think the spinners, Rashid and Moeen Ali, will play a very important part because, Rashid we haven't seen the best of him yet. But, who knows? Will the Irishman pick his leg spin, googlies, and top spin? Because he's quite a deceptive bowler. He's a very useful bowler. He's got plenty of experience playing in the IPL and all these things. But is lightning going to strike twice for Sam Curran? And, who knows? But it'll be a very good game.
So we are ready with the playing 11. We'll show you the graphics. For England is Joss Butler, Alex Hales, David Malan, Ben Stokes, Liam Livingstone, Harry Brook, Moeen Ali, Sam Curran, Chris Wokes, Adil Rashid, and Mark Wood. For Ireland, it's Paul Stirling, Andrew Balbirnie, Lachlan Tucker, Harry Tector, Curtis Camphor, George Dockrell, Gareth Dalini, Mark Adair, Fionn, Barry McCarthy, and Joshua Little. So that is the lineup for both the teams. Coming to you, Stuart, you've coached so many countries. You're a coach, and you have been in such a situation. Please also tell us that for a country like Ireland, how will you prepare them for this 2020 World Cup? Had you been their coach, or how will you prepare them against a country like England, who are considered favourites for this tournament?
One thing, your preparation doesn't really change too much, if you're playing against England or you're playing against an associate nation. So you want to have all bases covered, and that starts with the analyst. So you go in, you ask the analyst to collect all this information on their players, whether they're strong against spin, whether it's off spin, leg spin, left arm spin, and same with the pace bowlers. What are they strong against? Left arm pace, right arm pace, swing or extreme pace. So you go and get all that information. You hand that to the players. The players then read through it. They take out what they need. Sorry, yeah. So then you go to the players. You give them all the information, and then you just hit training. You have conversations with the players. You work things out on the go, really. And then when you get down to the final team meeting, let the players talk. Let them work out how they're going to play. And then you sit back and enjoy the show. So I wouldn't change too much. If you change your preparation before a game like this, it can throw speed bump in every now and then. You don't change too much. You keep everything level, keep it very calm, and tell them to go out. Number one thing, they're playing at the MCG. There might not be 100,000 people in watching, but there'll be enough in there. There'll be a lot of Ireland supporters. There'll be a lot of English supporters. There'll be a great crowd, great noise. Go and enjoy the atmosphere. Go and enjoy the spectacle that it is, and get one up on Big Brother.
It'll be interesting to see how Ireland handled Chris Woakes and Mark Wood. They're both quality bowlers, really, followed by some good spin bowling. So, Ireland are fully aware of England's strengths. On paper, of course, you'd fancy England to win. England, I think for me, could well be one of the sides in the last four if they keep up the winning. That's a very tight group, So, England will be aware of that. They'll be aware of the run rate, which will play a very crucial factor in the end. But Ireland will be aware of England's strengths. So they will think that we've got to get at least 150, 160 on board. Otherwise, they don't have much of a chance. But then you never know.
Also, Farooq sir, will it be a good chance for Alex Hales to regain his form?
Well, Alex Hales.
Oh yeah, look.
Is a very experienced batsman. He's been playing in all the franchises. So he's so used to T20 cricket. And he has been out, but he's been out to some good catches and all that. Yes, I think Alex Hales, I'm not worried about his form. England, I'm not particularly worried about his form because he's there to play shots because there's a strong line of batsmen to follow him. So England must have given him the green light that go ahead and play your own game. Go ahead and play shots. And that's the attitude that Ben Stokes and Brendan McCallum have instilled in the England team. So don't worry, if you lose your wicket, go out. Even in Test cricket, that they've adopted that mantra. I don't know how long that'll last in Test cricket, but certainly it'll work in the T20s. So, Alex Hales has a green signal. Go out there and give it your best shot. And that's what he'll do. And he's a very talented player. So I would be surprised at all if he comes off, yes.
All right, the match is about to start. लेकिन जितने भी viewers अभी फिलहाल हमारा show देख रहे हैं, अगर आपका कोई भी question है तो please आप hashtag use कीजिए #BatBig7 और mention कीजिए CricTracker को और हम आपका सवाल यहाँ पर अपने expert से लेंगे. It's time for a special segment called Social Tracker presented by CricTracker and BatBig7. Alright, तो आपको कुछ tweets हम दिखाते हैं. Okay, I want to see this happening tomorrow once again after 11 years. Alright, so do you think this can happen today, Farooq sir?
Of course it can happen. T20, that's the beauty of the World T20, that anything can happen anytime. Limited overs contest, finger biting contest. But that's what everyone wants to see. They don't want to see a whitewash or a one-sided affair. They all want to see close finishes. Ireland will be delighted to have a close finish against England. England wouldn't want that. England would want to finish off Ireland, early enough and get ready for the next game, because they know they are a better side on paper. But on paper, it's just not everything. It's out there in the middle how they perform. Ireland will be giving it their best shot. Believe me, it's a huge match for them. Perhaps it's just like India-Pakistan match, Ireland-England, and Ireland will take it personally upon them to see that, Irish eyes are smiling back home.
Ireland must be thinking that we have to go against this team. England is that team that we have to go against, and if they can do it consistently with all the other teams, you never know. They can go ahead in the tournament. So okay, we can have a look at the next tweet. As to it, I'll come to you. The last time England played Ireland in a World Cup was way back in the 2011 World Cup. The game was won by Ireland, courtesy of a brilliant 113 by Kevin O'Brien. Meanwhile, England tomorrow. अब हमको चाहिए full इज्जत. अब हम वो इंग्लैंड नहीं है जो लिबर so pun intended. They're just trying to say here, Stuart, that we are not the same England that we were.
That's fair enough.
Yeah,
that's fair enough too. But as Farouk mentioned before, T20 cricket, you only have to have one bad over, and you put your team under immense pressure. You possibly lose the game. England can't afford any slip-ups. Ireland will be hoping that England do slip up. But on the other hand, Ireland can't. They've got to play the game of their life to beat England. England have got a target on their back in this team because, they've been playing really good cricket coming in. They're one of the favourites of the tournament. They're up there in the top two, probably top four of the competition to go through to the semis. So they've got a target on their back. Ireland, believe me, I know a few Irish cricketers. They absolutely love just getting under the skin of the opposition, trying everything they possibly can to get them off their game and then jump in and grab the chocolate. So that's what Ireland will be trying to do. They'll be trying to upset England somehow. First of all, they've got to put a score on the board and they can go to work. They've got some good bowlers. Josh Little, he's no mean, it's not easy against him. He's quite sharp and left arm swings the ball and very aggressive. So, don't take them lightly because you do it at your peril.
चलिए आपको लास्ट ट्वीट हम दिखा देते हैं. ओके 26 अक्टूबर 2022 इंग्लैंड वर्सेस आयरलैंड और मैच विनर उन्होंने प्रेडिक्शन की है. सो इंग्लैंड मुकाबला जीत रहा है. हाईएस्ट रन स्कोरर इज डेविड मलान, हाईएस्ट विकेट टेकर इज मार्क वुड एंड बैट्समैन विद मोस्ट सिक्सेस इज हैरी ब्रूक. Farooq sir, do you agree here?
Yeah, Harry Brook and Liam Livingstone in the middle order. That is a handful. They are both very, very, very good strikers of the ball. They believe in hitting more sixes than fours at every opportunity. And if they have a great start, Josh Butler and David Malan and Alex Hales, for these two to follow, Ireland wouldn't be looking forward to that. So I mean, England have got a fair amount of strikers, very, very good strikers. If one fails, another one comes up. So, I mean, to get through all of them, Ireland will have to really be sharp, bowl sharp. Josh Little is a very good bowler, as Stuart Ratley says. They'll be. And the Irish love getting the England's under the skin to try and upset them. They will do everything they can, in a sporting way, I'm sure. But to upset this England side, it'll take some performance from Ireland. It's an uphill task, but they're well up to it.
स्पिन भी है, उनके पास अच्छे बैटर्स भी है. इंग्लैंड जो है तभी कंसीडर किया जा रहा है as favorites.
That's why they're one of the favorites to be in the last four. But Ireland will be trying their very best. If Ireland beat England, it will be a major upset, of course, and that's what they'll be looking to do.
So, all right, अब हम कॉन्टेस्ट पर नजर डाल लेते हैं. आज का सवाल क्या है आपके लिए? So, predict the top run getter for England in the game against Ireland. ट्विटर पे जाइए, सोशल मीडिया पे जाइए, हैशटैग यूज कीजिए @Brick7, मेंशन कीजिए CricTracker को और प्रेडिक्शन अपनी बता दीजिए. और अगर आपकी प्रेडिक्शन ठीक हुई, अगर आपको सिलेक्ट किया गया, तो भाई फटाफट से आप तक गिफ्ट पहुंच रहा है. और अब बारी हमारे आज के पोल की. So, कौन जीत रहा है आज का मुकाबला? उसके लिए आपके who will back 2 important points. So, England के लिए 86% and Ireland के लिए 14%. I don't think Ireland will be upset with this percentage because knowingly that England is considered favorites for this match, and they have nothing to lose. Stuart?
Yeah, the best way to play a sporting contest is when you're the underdog. They've probably not given them enough points there, I think, but Ireland won't be too unhappy with that. They know that England should be the overwhelming favourites. They're a powerhouse in the world game. Ireland are just new to the mainstream international cricket, so they'll be happy with that. And I'm sure if they do happen to get over the line against England, they'll be letting every Englishman know that they know, and that's what the Irish love. So a great contest in prospect. So fingers crossed. Ireland, not a ghost of a chance, but if they do get over the line, it'll be well worth watching the celebrations.
Well, I think Ireland need a little more, need to be a little more higher. I think they've given Ireland real low marks there. Perhaps 75-25. Or Yashika, you're always asking for our predictions. So
Yes.
what are you going to ask today?
No, of course I'm going to ask you for that. So what are your predictions for today's match?
Well, I mean, it would take a real brave man to say Ireland, or it would take an Irishman to say Ireland. But England are certainly the favourites. But Ireland will give their best. You can be sure of that. They will be really fighting all the way. But I think at the end, England are certainly favourites.
Okay, before we go, just give me a number. How much Ireland is going to score in today's match? Give me a number. What is your prediction?
Oh,
Ireland.
Crystal ball time. Okay, no problem. 153. There you go. They're going to get 153.
153. Wow.
Yep.
Is it brave of Stuart to say that 153, Farooq sir?
I'll say you always go in the middle, so I'm going to put you on a spot, Yashika. I'm going to say 152.
Where do I go? Yeah.
Now, what are you going to say?
Okay. So I will
Now you're
go
stumped, aren't you?
with 125.
125.
Okay, all right.
125. Yeah.
My only hope is Paul Sterling, who loves pace. If he gets away to a flyer, then they've got a chance of getting 153. Yeah. But we'll see.
Okay. So 125, 152, and 153. So
Correct,
let's see who. Surely, if England wins the game today, and if I win, so
you are always right, Yashika. You know that. The lady always has the last word.
All right. Thank you so much, Farooq sir. Thank you so much, Stuart, for joining us.
You're
and
welcome.
we'll see you after the match. Thank you, gentlemen. Enjoy your day, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
after the match. Thank you guys for watching.
Cheers.